Hi everyone, it's Rachael O'Connor, Clinical Director and Principal Psychologist of the Therapy Spot at Palm Beach on the beautiful Gold Coast. How are we tonight? You know, I'm catching up with all my emails at the moment and trying to put some structure around the many and multiple things I've enrolled in to help me, my staff, and you guys cope through this coming period and what we've been through. And there's so much that's on offer at the moment. There's so many things through the Black Dog Institute, through MindSpot, through primary health networks. Lots of people are out there providing lots of good information. And there was one I came up around what to do when you're a frontline staff member. And I keep flicking into it and then flicking out of it because it's long. And I thought, how can I do this best? And then I thought, well, how about we do it together? So it's good information. So if you are a frontline staff member or you have staff that are, I'll just go through it with you. So it's some tips that came through from the Primary Health Network. Primary Health Network is an organisation that manages a lot of allied health and GP people and has lots of contacts across lots of different networks. So they're saying that our challenges are significant at the moment, not only serving the community but also trying to stay healthy while often worrying about the health of family and friends. This is so true. A lot of us are, perhaps not letting ourselves go. I know I'm carrying a couple more kilos than I did at the start of COVID. I'm not getting to my Pilates classes like I did before, and I'm trying different exercises, but some days you just want to stop, and I'm just stopping and I'm not moving my body the way I used to. But anyway, it says be respectful and kind to yourself as number one. Saying, just acknowledging that we're in the middle of stuff. All the things that we're doing make doing the job difficult, stressful and exhausting. So for staying resilient in times of crisis is to treat yourself the way you would treat others, which is with respect and kindness, which is, I've talked about this before, recognising that you're human and can only do your best, remembering that stress is normal and no one is perfect. So a lot of us are saying the same thing. Practice switching on and off. We're all wired to stay vigilant to threats. This important skill helps us to keep safe and stay alive. But during crisis, our risk radar becomes too sensitive. This is about when I'm talking to clients, I talk about the safety brain kicks in. And when your safety brain kicks in, it'll often go into that fight or flight mode. It's hyper alert. It's looking for danger, 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 danger. You're not so much practicing the information that you need or processing what they call a whole brain activation. So you're just in a crisis mode. So you need to be mindful of that. Make sure that you calm yourself back down, which is kind of what they're talking about here. Make sure you switch off. Make sure you take some deep breaths. And the other thing it says, to kind of reduce the stress around you. So write your to-do list for the next day, walk away from it when you leave, move out of your office, turn off the news and social media. They say you should actually change in and out of your clothes, so don't wear your trackies to work. I've got my glitter trackies today because I was a bit cold. I did have a proper work jumper on, but I put the glitter trackie on towards the end of the day. So I should take all this off before I go and engage with my family. Listen to a favourite piece of music, stretch your body, and get out in the sunlight. A bit dark, so a bit hard now. The third thing it says is practice psychological safety. So working on the front line means seeing and hearing things which are confronting. Acknowledging that you can't always fix everyone and keeping boundaries between your personal and professional life. You can still be kind and gentle, but remember remember your role at work and stay within that role. If someone needs more help than you can provide, then take the steps to refer them to a more appropriate service. And recognise when you're over-identifying with a client and avoid sharing too much about your personal life or assuming that you know what they're going through because you have a similar experience. Debrief with your colleagues, obviously. Remind yourself that you're doing the best you can and take regular breaks throughout the day, practicing switching on and off as you can. I know with us, we're seeing less clients than we did before when we were working face-to-face in the surgery in the practice, because quite simply the focus of the Zoom, the thing that we need to do, it's a lot more mind focused, and as we're building muscle, like we're getting better at it, but we've reduced our client load that we had before, which is good and better for the client. So I'm paying more attention. You've got more of my attention towards the end of session, because in the first few weeks I was finishing and then falling asleep, which wasn't very good in terms of work-life balance. What do we got here? Do the things that help you recharge. When stressed, we tend to avoid doing things that we normally do, including all the things that keep us resilient. Activities and hobbies which we enjoy that give us pleasure, even if we can't do them in the same way, take the time to do them. Do them in a different way. So I said I couldn't go to my Pilates classes, so I've been walking on the beach instead. Stop the noise but choose your news. Give yourself permission to switch off the noise, the social media, the news, the radio, and they'll bait you and they'll alert you and get your safety brain going, danger, danger, danger. Give yourself some time out from that, but by all means check in with reliable news sources once or twice a day. I tend to say just once a day, that's enough. We can catch up with whatever's going on in that point. It says keep your routine. We've all lived routines in our daily lives. Do stuff like brush your teeth, brush your hair, have a shower every day, go to bed at the same time, get a good night's sleep. Allow yourself time to do that. Keep a regular routine. Permission to be human is another thing that they've got up here. It's normal to experience many different emotions when working on the front line, and these include anger, fear, frustration, guilt, joy, euphoria, sadness, shame, terror, happiness, confusion, exhaustion, helplessness, tearfulness. It's cheerful. Sometimes you might feel all of those emotions in the same day, but you have to look at the context of the emotions they're saying here. Having strong emotions is not a sign that you aren't coping or are weak. They're a sign that you're human. Your colleagues will be feeling the same, and give yourself permission to have those feelings. So don't think just because I'm dealing, say for example, if you're a nurse working in the ER with a client who's impacted by what's going on and they're struggling for breath, feeling sadness or empathy for them doesn't mean that you are not doing your job well. That's okay. It's a normal human emotion. We have number 9, balance your thoughts. It's normal for frontline staff to notice they've been having more negative thoughts than positive thoughts. Thoughts like, how will I cope if I get sick? I can't deal with this, are normal. These thoughts reflect our worries and are usually temporary. But these thoughts can stop you doing things that can help. Remember, our thoughts are not always true or helpful. Challenge your negative thoughts. Don't believe everything you think. And ask yourself, what's the evidence for those thoughts? Whether you recognise the negative thought, balance it with a realistic thought. One of the things that I kind of say is have a look at who's around you and who the people are that you're interacting with. Make sure that, at these times when it's harder, or if you've got a heavier load with people, you need to make sure that you're interacting with people that are positive and make you feel good, because the time when you're not working with people is the time when you need to be recharging. So if you've been in a negative funk or something like that, go and ring up someone that makes you happy. Or I tend to spend a lot more time with my dog at the moment because she's joyful and happy and always, I'm the best person in the universe, and that makes me feel great, makes me laugh. She got a hold of a tail last night and she's running around. I'm like, oh, it's funny. And it balances my thought. It puts me in a positive mindset. The last one is leading by example. Do not there's another one. 10 is leading by example. Do not underestimate the impact of your actions on those around you. People will be looking for strength in those around them. Whether you're a junior member or a CEO, be a leader in times of crisis. Act in a way that inspires others and gives them confidence. Be respectful, calm and kind. That's nice. When appropriate, be vulnerable and show that it's okay to be human. Act in a way that when you look back on this event, you can be quietly proud of how you behaved. 11, keep looking forward. Remember the famous saying, this too shall pass. I think I said that right at the start. May not feel like it, but things will return to normal. In the meantime, it's important to have confidence that things will improve, that people will recover. So I've been talking a lot about the fact that we're pressing pause right now and we will hit play in the future. So thank you everyone for helping me get through this little article that I've been looking at for off and on 2 days or so. I hope you found it helpful. So psychological tips for frontline staff. Have a great rest of your day, night, and I hope the coming week goes well for you. So it's Rachael O'Connor on the spot at the therapy spot. Talk soon.